What's up? I am here in beautiful Baden-Baden, Germany. Not trying to name drop, but today's podcast is with Danny Robinson, which was shot in Ocean City. I left later that day to fly to Germany. So anyways, please do go onto iTunes, Stitcher, FM Player, all of that to listen to the full podcast. However, these are my final 5 questions with Mr. Danny Robinson, who started Hoop Tea Organic Malt Beverage, which is phenomenal, as well as Shorebilly, which turned into BACKSHORE Brewing Company. Really cool story. Check it out. Danny Robinson of Hoop Tea, Vicariously podcast. All right, so we're wrapping up. I'm gonna get out of his hair because he's got a lot to do. And I've definitely taken enough time, but I'm really appreciate the story and sitting down with us. Final 5 questions, here we go. First question, how would you define success?
Oh man, you gotta hit me off right with a tough one. Certainly, I mean, I'll tell you what it's not. It's certainly not financially. I mean, financial money is a way to keep score. I mean, it's just numbers. And so success is just, I mean, I don't know if there's an easy definition of it, but I do believe that, I read somewhere that on your last day on earth, the person you've become is you meet the person you could have become. And I think success is just getting those 2 guys in line and as close to being the same person as you possibly can.
That is really cool. I've never heard that answer, but I love that. If you could do any job, what would it be?
What career would I have if I could be anything on earth?
Yes.
Man, I wish I was like the 4th Beastie Boy. That would have been really cool, I think, man. I grew up listening to them and they were just awesome, and I was just like, all I wanted to do was be a Beastie Boy, But other than that, I mean, I love what I do. I do have a thing that I check in on every once in a while. It's like my lifetime goal, my 5-year goal, my 1-year goal to get to that 5 years, my 1-month goal to get to that 1-year goal, and at the top, it's never, it doesn't say like billionaire or anything like that by any means. It just says, use the gifts that I was given, just be involved in something that I can use my creativity and passion every day.
All right, if you could give any advice to a young entrepreneur starting out, what would it be?
Success isn't a straight line. And I learned that just by reading incessantly just biographies about other successful people. And all of a sudden you realize that you look at everybody walking down the street, if you ask them, they're a mess. You think you see these guys that are in great shape and great financially and drive a nice car and they have everything perfectly. If you ask them, they would say, no, I'm a complete mess. I just do one thing really good and everything else kind of falls in line, So they just, those people tend to have just good daily habits. There's no secrets, it's no, but to become successful and businesses especially, I mean, I remember reading Jeff Bezos' book, the guy who started Amazon, and reading about him sticking books in the back of a rented minivan and driving them across a few states just to get something there in time. I'm like, I thought I was the only idiot who has to do things like that. And, when crisis shows up at your door every day, you're not a failure, you're not an idiot. That's how it's done. So just have confidence in yourself. If you have the balls to be an entrepreneur right off the bat, then man, you're halfway there. And just trust in yourself, trust your own decisions, and don't expect it to be a straight line. Don't think anybody else has it figured out. Nobody does. It's a really crazy line filled with disasters on the way there. And you'll get to the point where you just open the door and be like, oh, another disaster. I was expecting you. Come on in, and then just be happy with what you're doing now.
If you could go back and change one thing in your personal life or business life, what would it be?
If I could go back and change things, and this is more of a personal thing, would be to not make work a 24-hour thing. When it's inevitable that will be, I'm always thinking about new ideas and all that, but instead of trying to do the work-life balance kind of thing, just don't do that. The life part ends up suffering, and the people around you end up suffering. And just when you're working, focus 100% in on your work. Shut everything else out. When you have your personal life, do the same. Shut everything else out. And you think, at first you're going to think, oh man, my work is suffering. There's things, there's emails I need to read. There's people I need to go see. It's not true. You'll be way more productive by focusing on one or the other at that time. And it's like, I hate thinking back of like, you know, friends that aren't with me anymore, or family members and stuff like that, when I was just being an idiot and just working instead. That's one thing I would have changed, you know. And everybody says the same thing on their deathbed, you know, like, oh, I wish I didn't work so much and all, but you know, you can't do that. So, but there is a solution. There is, you know, focus on one thing at a time.
All right, last question. Why did you accept my offer to be on the Vicariously podcast?
Because I'm a giant eagle and I just like talking about myself. I mean, come on. No, because honestly, I looked at your podcast and I wanted to meet you, and I thought it was really cool, and I think it was, yeah, and that's it. I just thought it'd be cool. I mean, I'm really busy today, and this is the highlight of my day.
Hell yeah!
To force myself to sit down and do this, and this is great. The highlight of my day.